The Battlefront Network, giving you your daily dose of Battlefront content.
Hello everyone and welcome, this is the Battlefront Network and we're here, we've seen the gameplay, it looks awesome and we literally cried with joy and screamed, didn't we guys? It was amazing.
I think I might have pooped my pants.
Yeah,
I ejaculated.
I think that's what
bodily fluids everywhere.
What happened all over the world, whoever's seen this gameplay. And earlier, before the actual gameplay was released, we were saying that, oh, what if it's terrible, what if it doesn't deliver? And we saw that.
Yeah.
And
we had a Phantom Menace moment, didn't we, guys?
We did.
I don't know why, but that's not the reason we're here, is it, Tom?
No. We're going to be breaking down the trailer, the gameplay that was shown, frame by frame, and we're going to be pausing at moments we think are most important, and we're going to be talking about them.
Indeed we are.
Yes,
so I think without further ado, let's play the trailer.
So right off the bat, it looks visually stunning on the PS4, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, it does.
That's really surprising.
What, that it looks visually stunning on the PS4?
Yeah. Because I thought it was PC at first.
If it looks this good on PS4, it's going to look amazing on PC, isn't it?
And this is what a game does when it's not limited to just the
exactly.
every console.
Okay, so
the next
I
old
want to pause it right here. So we have a trailer for the X-Wings. However, we see X-Wings later on, we see X-Wings in the sky, but it doesn't look like you can actually pilot these X-Wings out of this hangar trailer.
So these are static
so
vehicles.
They look
just
like
models.
static
They're part
props.
of the environment.
Yeah.
But if we take a closer look at what's going on in this hangar, it's very intricate. I mean, everything looks like it's been pulled from the film. It really
exactly.
does.
It does.
I mean, if I just get a comparison, if I just put a comparison on screen now of the Hoth hangar from Empire Strikes Back, and then move back to what we're looking at now, it's ridiculously true to life, and I think they really have gone out of their way to bring
realism,
bring in realism and bring the immersion factor like through the roof.
They did mention that was like one of their main goals to actually do that, so they've done it really well.
Yeah, I think they have. I mean, I can't wait to see more of Endor, Tatooine, of course.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do with Solus, because we haven't actually seen any of Solus yet. So that they sort of create from themselves. So that's their own imagination. Anyway, let's move on from this point. So we've seen the hangar. The hangar looks really awesome. Anything else to point out, guys?
No.
You can see there's yellow text over what is assumed to be his buddy. If you look just under the reticle, you can see a gray bar that starts to expand, and that is his weapon slowly beginning to overheat.
Yes, yeah, I like these. I like the fact there's actually binoculars in game. That's really cool.
It's
We've got binoculars. Then the scale of the let's keep going. But like Star Destroyers in the sky, that's cool. And as you can see, we're playing as the Empire now. And there's the grenade. There's the grenade.
Nice. What is that grenade?
That is. Let's stop. Let's stop. Let's rewind. And let's just watch that again and pause straight after the grenade explosion.
Damn.
Yeah, I know, right? That's
wow.
It sounds like a seismic charge. Yeah. It sounds like the seismic charge from Attack of the Clones, and that's really interesting. Plus, it's almost like it has an area of effect attack and then an explosive incendiary attack, so it's almost like it's got multiple attacks, which is really cool. I guess has anyone got anything else to point out about the grenades?
Not about the grenades, but I'll point out at the bottom, if you look, he's at 76 health right now, and then he's going to run forward and it's going to automatically fill up to 100.
Also, something else to point out, the little icon on the bottom left of the health bar, do we think there are going to be customizable emblems for your
I think that might just be like a health bar emblem, or maybe he's playing as... I know that there aren't necessarily classes, but maybe he's playing as something that has a med pack or something like that. Maybe that's a special ability to which it's going to fill up his health bar.
That's interesting.
So faster regeneration.
Let's move on from there. Okay, so I think the big point here is that there are Star Destroyers in the sky, and if you look, there are medical cruisers in the sky as well, which is really cool. We've got TIE fighters.
We have this fully automatic pistol.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, actually.
You see the abilities there to get the rocket and stuff.
And there's
the abilities,
the rocket launcher.
so the abilities are specific to the factions.
Yeah.
And then if we look very closely, there's a working ion cannon. What I want to know is, does that ion cannon just
have any influence on the game?
Yeah. Does it shoot down the Star Destroyers that are in the sky? That'd be pretty cool.
Now, to me, that looks like on Battlefield 4, where the missiles just keep firing from the ships. That looks like, to me, the same kind of thing, where it just fires randomly.
Okay. I think the big thing to note here is that you can actually do quite a bit of damage with a regular weapon to an AT-ST.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. And then you have these beacons. So Nolan, should we pause here and you talk a little bit more about these beacons? Okay, so there's the AT-AT there.
So the only thing that I can really gather about what these beacons are doing in a Walker Assault game mode, because obviously the objective for the Rebels is going to be to destroy the Walker, and the objective for the Empire is to protect the Walker. What I think is these beacons draw in the AT-AT. That's why the AT-AT is on rails, because it draws them to these beacons for the Rebels to set up somewhat of an ambush on them. And the Empire's objective is to destroy the beacons so that the AT-AT doesn't get drawn to the beacons. However, I could be completely wrong about this, but that's just what it seems like to me.
However, there is a little defend icon in the top right-hand corner. Now, what do you think that's pointing towards?
Well, the defend icon is pointing towards the beacon that's right behind him, because it says
is it the one that's right behind him?
Yeah, because it's blue, and the blue would mean that he's right there with it.
Okay, right.
Or maybe the blue means that it's active.
Yeah, because it's quite interesting that the shield generator isn't involved in this at all. When we think,
or it could be
the span of the trailer.
It could be that as more beacons get shut down, the Rebels get less and less reinforcements. That could be a thing too.
Because I would have thought that the AT-AT would be aiming for the shield generator, like it did on the Battle of
Maybe that's the main
Empire.
objective, like at the end. They've got to stop it from getting there.
True.
Maybe, yeah. These beacons might be things along the way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on from here. Okay, so now we get a really nice shot of the AT-AT.
And this is what they would consider driving the AT-AT.
Yeah,
You're just blowing the crap out of everything.
Looks like a really, really awesome experience, to be honest.
Oh, yeah,
I like this view, the view where you're actually underneath the turret.
The thing that I like is you don't have to worry about how clunkily it moves and trying to control that. Let's
pause right here.
Just called in an airstrike.
That was awesome. Now, I think, was that caused by the AT-AT?
Yeah, because
yes, the AT-AT. You see those 4 little icons over there.
Yeah, the AT-AT is the one that's being controlled, and there was a giant sort of blue target that was projected onto the ground.
Yeah, it was like a little circle, wasn't it?
Down. Yeah, yeah. So I'm thinking, is that a perk that the AT-AT gets, or how do you get that perk?
Well, if you look in the actual abilities there, it shows the top one being used, the airstrike.
That is true. Yes, it does, which is quite interesting.
And also, if you just mentioning what Nolan said earlier, if you look at the beacon, it's red now. For the Imperials.
He's destroying the beacon.
It is, because he's shut it down. I think another cool feature is that when it's listing the scores, there's one called Partner Avenged, which I think is really cool. You can avenge your partner's death.
The body system.
The thing is, we actually see that many times in the trailer. In the opening scene, we actually see that when he kills the first Imperial soldier.
Yeah, but I just think that that's a really cool way to, boost up your score. Because I'm not sure if this game mode's based on score or based on kills. It seems like it'd be based on score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on from the awesomeness that is an airstrike. Because, we could stare at that all day, couldn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Snowspeeders.
Yes. Snowspeeders are awesome.
I like the bass in the shot from the AT-AT that we heard. It just really gives it that heavy feel. And I like the first-person view of the Snowspeeder.
Yeah, gotta love this first-person view of the Snowspeeder. And then when it goes onto the AT-AT, that's pretty cool. So
we did see the shield generator, but there was no objective marker over it.
Yeah, exactly. But can
we pause it right here really quick?
Yep.
So the thing that I wanted to point out, if we can actually just rewind it really quick, and then we play. So if you're looking at the ground here, there's so many vehicles and so many people on the ground that this makes me think that there are way more than 40 people in this game, which opens it up to the possibility of there being AI. Because if you look at the ground, there's at least 20 people that he just passed, and then there's ships in the sky also.
Exactly, and there's the tow cable right there.
So it looks like you just have to hit the tow cable, and then you're good.
Around.
Then you're good. And then the AT-AT, I remember it having to be shot down in the film, but it just goes down automatically, which is really nice. And the scale of the AT-AT...
If you pause there, if you look at the AT-AT, when it comes down, on Battlefront 2, when you shot it down, it would automatically disappear and not become part of the landscape. But if you look at it actually becomes part of the landscape because the snow starts to blow over it.
It's entrenched in the snow, isn't it?
So it becomes like...
That's really cool.
Nice feature.
That's really cool. What I think one key thing to notice there, though, is that it doesn't blow up. So, does that mean you have a chance to evacuate the AT-AT before it blows?
Because, yeah, I was about to say that, because you see all the rebels are circling around it and staring at it.
Yeah, exactly. So, they're obviously waiting for the pilots to come out, because it seems that tow cable, once the tow cable animation was,
hitched.
Activated, or whatever, and then you see the AT-AT, and it's almost like it's been hit by an EMP.
Yeah.
And then it goes down. So that wouldn't kill the people inside it. So if your AT-AT gets shot down, you still have a chance to survive and battle on. I think that's pretty cool if that is the case.
Or realistic.
It is quite realistic. So let's move on from here.
Hey, TIE Fighters.
The TIE Fighters, yeah, that's awesome. I think. Yeah, it is awesome. The scale of the map, when you can see the ships flying through, you can actually see the scale of the map. And the dogfighting actually looks like it'd be loads of fun compared to how hard it was to dogfight
you can just show you can just show the ion cannon.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't know we could do that. So the question is, what impact does the ion cannon have within the game itself? That's interesting, because we didn't see much of it, so that's quite interesting.
And here you have like a little dogfight specific canyon.
Yes, exactly. And then there's so much going on in this shot, and I like this gun as well.
Oh, it's nice.
I'm not entirely sure what gun it is, but it's a very nice repeater. And then we have Rodians, of course. Rodians, and then there's another EMP'd AT-AT. So much detail.
It's beautiful.
Can we hold really quick? Really quick. Hold.
Yeah.
So
are we rewinding?
Rewind it just a little bit, and then play. So if you look at those little icons, it says attack, and then it's counting down. So maybe you only have a certain amount of time to attack the AT-AT before you lose. Like maybe this AT-AT's penetrated far enough to the point where
that's a fair point. And then we get to see the awesomeness of what a shield actually looks like, and it sounds like it does from the Battle of Naboo.
And pause.
Oh.
Obviously here.
So it wasn't for cinematic purpose, because when I saw the gameplay footage in Star Wars Celebration, the end of the gameplay we saw on Endor, the Rebel walks around the corner, and then he gets force choked into the air and thrown against the wall by Vader. That was cinematic though. This is in game. So it actually looks like this in game, which is amazing. I mean, that in itself blows my mind, because if force choking someone is as awesome as lifting them up into the air and actually choking the life out of them, that's crazy awesome. I've got no words. I don't know if anyone else wants to say anything about that.
I wonder what other force powers he'll have, what other abilities.
Yeah, that's a fair point, because we'll find out. We'll find out when Luke Skywalker arrives.
Well, exactly,
and then before we play, look in the background really quick, and you see all that big gray smoke coming up?
Yes, I do.
It looks like there is a crashed vehicle there.
That looks like it could be a crashed snowspeeder.
Yeah, so maybe crashed vehicles stay and become part of the environment as well.
Which is actually really nice, and again adds to that realism factor, which DICE are really trying to play towards. They're trying to play the realism.
One last thing that we point out, it's snowing.
Yes, exactly. It is snowing, which is cool, because they did mention a couple of news updates ago that there was going to be weather in the game. So we have snow here.
And the weather
it's really nice
affects
because it's
how you
snow
look.
and it's affecting but it's not all up in your face as to the point where it's a blizzard and you can't see.
No, exactly. So I guess we should play on from here because there's more awesomeness to come.
Okay.
All right.
So he gets thrown to the ground, and then boom, there's Vader. And Vader looks amazing. Cut to black, and there's Mark Hamill in all his Return of the Jedi glory. Now,
pause it. All right, so my whole thing this entire time was, are heroes going to be planet-specific? And this kind of confirms, to me at least, that heroes aren't going to be planet-specific, because this is Return of the Jedi Luke with the green lightsaber.
Yep.
And he was not like that. He also doesn't have his other hand. His right hand is a robotic hand. So this kind of confirms that heroes may be planet-specific, but their outfits aren't necessarily planet-specific, which leads into customization. So maybe you do have to use Luke on this map, but you can use any variant of Luke that you want. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is he slashed the Stormtrooper, but there is no burn in the Stormtrooper's armor, which is a little disappointing.
That's true. That is true. However, it's still pretty awesome that we get to see Luke Skywalker here. Now, seeing as we've stopped here, we can see the Jedi Hud.
Yeah.
Let's break that down. So we've got 3 icons. We've got the circular target icon, which
is push. I think.
Yeah,
that's a force push, and that of course answers Tom's question: are there going to be more different force attacks? And yes, Luke Skywalker has a force push. Then I think the one at the top looks to be a block. I think that's a block, and then the one to the left, the one to the right,
is saber throw.
Is either a saber throw or maybe just attack. But I don't
think
know.
It's a saber throw.
Yeah, saber throw, because it shows like the lines.
It shows a little blur. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a tiny little blur. You can only just make it out. I think you probably make that out better if it wasn't on a white background.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I really wanted to point out was, you remember how we pointed out on the health bar that there was like a little medical symbol? This one, it's a lightsaber with a circle around it.
I think that's actually... No, see, what I want to point out here is I'm pretty sure... I want to say that they're emblems. I want to say they're like tags that you can create.
I don't think so, because they seem very character specific at this point. All the infantry have health ones, and then the Jedi has this special one with a lightsaber.
No, you do make a good point. I think it'd be nice if you had like your own tags, but you're probably right on that one. So let's move on and let's see some more Luke Skywalker awesomeness.
I like the blocking.
So the trailer's just about to... Yeah, and it looks like it would in Star Wars. And there's the force push.
If you just pause...
If we can actually just rewind it really quick and play from there. Alright.
Okay, so there's the force push.
And then pause it like here. Pause it here. So if you look... I don't think he's been hit by anything, any shots or anything, but his health has gone down to 99 and then to 98. So maybe it is a time or energy-based thing, because as soon as he started sprinting, his bar just started plummeting down.
So it's going to use a similar system as to the system in Battlefront 2. I like that.
And then you can also see that his force push is refilling.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, I think all the power-ups sort of refill. Because it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think because if we think back, the rocket launcher was a power up. So if you only, I mean, maybe some power ups are for a limited amount of time, but it's nice to think that some you've got a variation of limited power ups and power ups that actually regenerate over time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is balanced. And then of course he clashes with Vader, and we've got to pause it there because that is just the most awesome screenshot ever. Because he clashes with Vader, and what I like here, even if it is very cinematic, is the light reflecting on Vader's helmet. You see the lightsabers reflecting on his helmet. You've got the green and the red, and then also you've got the green reflecting onto Luke's hair as well.
And then after this, I want to make another point.
That seems to use the same system. Like if you go on Skyrim. When you are like attacking somebody, it will go into like a cinematic. So it looks like he's doing this here. So when you go to attack him, it will do some kind of attack.
And then
cinematic mode or something.
How's the cinematic mode going to work? Is it going to be just like a button mashing power struggle? Is it going to be who can hit a series of buttons faster?
I don't know, but it's definitely going to be better than what was in Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was just hack and slash the crap out of midair and hope you hit the person you're trying to target.
And then one last thing, if you look at his hair, it actually looks realistic.
Oh, the hair does look realistic. I'm not gonna lie. It's got I think there's going to be some really nice physics in this game, and small things such as hair. It proves attention to detail. It proves DICE's attention to realism and their attention to detail with this game. The last thing I want to point out is that we've seen AT-ATs get EMP'd in this trailer, and then finally we see one blow up. So if we just rewind quickly,
and then you look, it says attack 16 seconds or 15, whatever it may be, and then you click play. That goes down, and then it's just about at 0 as they go to clash, and as they clash, it explodes. So maybe that's the health of the AT-AT that we see there.
It probably is the health of the AT-AT, and that if you're in the perspective of the AT-AT itself, that's probably a timer for you to jump ship. And that came up in an episode of Wishlist Wednesdays. Are you going to be able to jump ship before it explodes or crashes? Now, none of that has really been answered, but I'd expect with a timer system like that on an AT-AT, you would have a chance to sort of maybe escape it. Which is an interesting point.
That's the other thing, escaping. Are you going to have to come down through the AT-AT, or is it going to be like the previous Battlefront games where you just spawn on the ground under it?
Interesting, because
I have a feeling like DICE wouldn't do the just spawn under it. You'd have to slide down on a rope.
Yeah, I think so, because they're
going for realism.
They're going for realism, and they're going for intricacy as well, and there are a load of intricate animations in this.
And then one last thing I wanted to ask you guys. This was an all Hoth gameplay trailer for Walker Assault. Do you think we saw multiple Hoth maps in this trailer? Because they've confirmed that there's going to be at least like 3 Hoth maps out of the gate.
They did say plains, rebel base, and caves as 3 separate things.
Yes, they did, but I think we saw one whole big map.
That's what I was thinking as well.
We're all going to have different opinions on this, maybe, but the reason I say that is because when I saw the Endor map in at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, you could actually go into the not the rebel base. You could go into the bunker. So the fact that they actually start in the rebel base, it just adds to the expanse of the map and how absolutely gigantic it actually is, because it really is big.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a big map, and again, just the little details like the medical cruisers in the sky, and if you look very carefully, there are 2 medical cruisers, and then there is a Corellian cruiser, which
I thought I saw that one.
Yeah, which is I'm pretty sure it's a Corellian type cruiser. And obviously the most famous Corellian cruiser is the Tantive 4, as we all know. Not that it would be the Tantive 4. I mean, it could be. But it's just that small attention to detail which DICE has decided. I think the fact that DICE have taken their time to go to the archives and just study everything with such precision, it's really paid off in this trailer for me.
Makes the game better, like more fun to play when it's like that.
The thing that I wanted to point out that I really loved absolutely the most from this trailer was just the Star Wars feel it had. The explosions are these big, massive explosions. All the shots hitting things spark. It just screams Star Wars.
It screams
Star
Wars.
It's not Star Wars Battlefield.
No, it's not. It's Star Wars Battlefront. And I mean, so many people have been, they've been skeptical about this game from April 17th when the original Endor cinematic trailer came out.
They've been skeptical before that after they announced that there's no galactic conquest or space battles or things like that. And this kind of shows that space battles are almost irrelevant, because even in a regular battle you can have an intense dogfight.
Exactly. I mean, the fact that you can probably jump in those ships at any time, we don't know that because we don't see it happen, but the fact that you can potentially jump in those ships at any time, take off and start dogfighting instead of staying on the ground and being a ground combatant, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, there's variation in there, and it's such. I mean, it's a game mode with very simple objectives
that we don't really know too much about.
No, that we don't. Yeah, that's true. However, there are so many different ways to play it, which is what this trailer proves. There are so many different ways to play this game, and I can't wait to see what other maps they're going to release. Anyway, I think we should probably round this one up now, guys. So, yeah, this has been our Star Wars Battlefront E3 2015 Hoth trailer breakdown.
It wasn't trailer, it was gameplay.
Gameplay this time.
Trailer.
Thank goodness.
Multiplayer gameplay breakdown. And of course it was Walker Assault on Hoth. So, as always, I've been Carbon Shadow, and Nolan.
I've been me.
And of course, Tom.
It's been Tom.
And until the next one, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're going to watch that trailer again 100 more times because it is just that awesome. And we've been the Battlefront Network. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.